Welcome back, everyone. The legal battle between Apple and the US government is taking an unexpected turn. The Department of Justice says it won't need Apple's help to access the phone belonging to the San Bernardino gunman after all. So a judge agreed to postpone Tuesday's courtroom showdown with the company.
Pretty incredible. The government made that request saying an outside party offered to unlock the phone. That's troubling news for the tech giant and its push for unhackable security. But so far, there's no evidence of who this third party is or if they even exist.
Apple CEO Tim Cook surprised his audience on Monday when he started a company event by addressing its fight with the government.
We did not expect to be in this position at odds with our own government. But we believe strongly that we have a responsibility to help you protect your data and protect your privacy. We owe it to our customers and we owe it to our country. This is an issue that impacts all of us, and we will not shrink from this responsibility.
Shelly Palmer is a technology expert, and he joins us now from New York to talk about all of this. Shelly, the big news here is the averted showdown, really, between Apple and the FBI, which was set for Tuesday. Here is exactly what the Department of Justice said in their Monday court filing. Quote, on Sunday, March 20th, 2016, an outside party demonstrated to the FBI a possible method for unlocking Syed Farook's iPhone. If the method is viable, it should eliminate the need for the assistance from Apple Inc. What does that mean? Did a hacker show them how to break into this iPhone over the weekend?
Yes, basically. This has never been in question. The phone is an iPhone 5C. Because of the operating system it's running and because of the way it was manufactured, that phone can be hacked, if you will. What they're really going to do is they're going to generate another key and they're going to open the phone. There are many hackers who have said they could do this. There are many security experts who said they could do this, that Apple was not required in this particular endeavor. So we've dodged a bullet for a little while. But over time, this question is still going to be the most important question of our age, which is where is the line between security and privacy? And more importantly, can the government of the United States compel a company that makes a security product to give it a metaphorical skeleton key? And that's really what's going to end up getting tested in court, ultimately what the legislature has to think about, because in history so far, that's never been true. And that's really what's at stake here. This one phone, it's never been a question that it could be hacked. It's always been hackable.
So then why did this all blow up to such a big issue in this past month? Was this more about Apple positioning itself from a product standpoint and simply saying we want to make an announcement about our products being safe and encrypted? Or was there really a need for the Department of Justice to force Apple to produce new software to allow them to break in? What was this all about then in the end?
I think if you go back in history, you'll look and see that law enforcement would really like the ability to eavesdrop on encrypted tools. And I think they chose this as an opportune moment. There was a terrorist attack, and they had an opportunity to ask for something that they hadn't asked for in the past. If you go carefully at shellypalmer.com, we've gone through really a detailed history of how the FBI and the Department of Justice came to ask Apple this particular thing and how the court ordered it. It's not what people think it is. It's not about a terrorist's phone. It's about a much larger question, and it's not, by the way, about your private security. People always answer back and say, well, I have nothing to hide. You're right, you don't, but you do have a bank account, and it's encrypted, and that is something worth protecting.
Now, Apple CEO Tim Cook began the product announcements by underscoring the encryption element of their products, but there were no seismic product rollouts, a smaller iPhone, more powerful iPads, a cheaper Apple Watch. Is Apple really struggling to innovate currently like they did under Steve Jobs? Because it appears that way.
You know, it's interesting. They've got 1 billion devices out in the wild right now, and I don't think the consumer endpoints are the future of Apple. If you look at the smaller phone, the Apple Watch, the new smaller iPad, that's all well and good. What they are generating is amazing amounts of data from the top 20% of banked people in the world. If you have money, you have an iDevice. If you're a good consumer, you have an iDevice, and they have more data about good consumers than any other company in the world. They also have Apple ID, so they know when you're logged in. Their advertising from data gathering is going to be second to none. They own their privacy policy, so data is the story of Apple, and hardware should not be looked at as the only thing this company does. It's far from it. So if you're just judging them on hardware innovation, sure, we could have a little bit of a talk about maybe they're not where they should be, but in practice, the iPhone 7 will be out probably in a few months, and we'll see if it's not a little bit better, a little bit brighter, a little bit happier. At the end of the day, they just need a consumer endpoint that satisfies their customers.
Very good point to make there as we wrap things up. Shelly Palmer, a technology expert, joining us from New York. Thanks for your time today.
My pleasure.